Cruises held a press conference, and their CEO, 𝘀𝘁𝗿𝗂𝗄, announced in very big news that MSC plans to return to service as early as August 15th. 2 ships that they plan to resume service with in the Mediterranean. Just 2 ships, MSC 𝘀𝘁𝗿𝗂𝗶𝘀𝗄, which is set to sail round trip out of Genoa and will visit Rome, Naples, Palermo, and Malta for 7-night cruises. And the second ship would be MSC 𝘁𝑀agnifica, which will sail out of Bari and visit 3 Greek ports and Trieste, and then return to Bari. In fact, these cruises are open only to guests coming from the Schengen countries, which are those 26 countries without border controls between them over in Europe. MSC will be requiring universal testing for all guests during embarkation. They're going to use a mass testing technology, which during the Q&A, it came out that this will be a nasopharyngeal swab test, and results will be provided within 30 minutes. Any guest with a positive test or a high temperature will be entirely denied boarding. You will also be required to present a health questionnaire outlining medical and travel history to ensure that you're joining the ship safely. Now, you might be wondering about the crew. The crew, once they're on board the ship, will quarantine for 5 days, and then after that 5-day period, they will test for a 3rd time, and then they will be released from their isolation to duty. So this is a 3-test plan for the crew. During the cruise season, the crew will also continue to be tested every single month, and the crew will also have their temperature taken daily. Now, the crew will also not always be able to visit shoreside and ports. Their shore visits will be kept to an absolute minimum and will only be permitted as part of an organized tour. Social distancing will absolutely be required, and guests will be urged to keep 1 meter distance from one another. They're going to cap guest capacity at 70%. So the ship will only be, at first, 70% occupied, which is going to allow for 10 square meters of public space on board per guest. Masks will be required. MSC will provide 100% fresh air to cabins and public areas. Sun loungers in the pool areas will be sanitized constantly, and because of the reduced capacity, you'll have more choices of places to sit. Let's talk about food service for a minute. At their buffet-type restaurants, you're not going to be able to serve yourself. The staff is going to serve you. You get to choose your items, and they'll serve it to you. In the dining room, you're going to be spaced out and away from other people for social distancing reasons. And in the main dining room, your menu will be completely digital. You'll be using a QR code, just like we are on land at restaurants right now, right? Pull up your phone, take a picture of the QR code on your table, and you've got your menu right in front of you. If you have symptoms of any kind and you're cruising on one of these ships, you will be able to contact the medical center immediately for an assessment, free of charge. They're also going to be keeping 10% of guest cabins vacant for isolation in case that becomes necessary, for what they call suspect cases, or cases in case that is necessary. And they're going to be in constant communication with shoreside facilities that can house people who have tested positive. They're going to have a new product. It's a new pandemic insurance that's coming out that every guest can purchase to comprehensively cover you and your party if you become ill and you cannot cruise. The insurance will cover a guest refund if you're denied boarding, and if you're diagnosed positive, the insurance will cover your transportation home. If you are a suspect case in the middle of your cruise, the remaining part of your cruise will also be fully refunded to you using the insurance. They're going to have proximity and contact tracing bracelets that everyone will wear. Every guest, all of the crew, will be required to wear tracking bracelets. So if someone falls ill, the cruise line can literally find out who you came into contact or proximity with, contact them, and begin their contact tracing process.